Number 2 on the show today is a BYU quarterback legend and current member of the BC Lions in the CFL, John Beck. Back with us on the show. John, great to have you, man. How are you?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You just wrapped up mini camp with the BC Lions. How are things in the CFL?
It's going pretty good. Just getting ready to head out this weekend. Just finishing up everything. The mini camp went great. Just kind of looking forward to having a good season.
What's it like playing with Austin Collie again?
You know what? It takes me back to the old 04 season. It's kind of crazy. You know, Austin's a great player. I know that the coaches and the organization up there are really excited to have him be a part of the team, and it really does kind of take me back. I remember when he came to BYU as a true freshman and played great for us. So it's great to kind of be back together with him, and he's a super competitive dude, a lot of fun to have on your team because you just trust if the ball's there, he's probably going to be the one coming down with it.
John, what do you do better now than you did when you played at BYU?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think, I've tried to always get better at the little things. I think, when you get to the pro level, a lot of the stuff comes down to skill within a certain system, right? I don't think you can't say arm strength's gotten better or, you try to still always be as accurate, more accurate. There's obviously, they always talk about it. There's college accuracy, then there's pro accuracy, and a lot of it has to do with certain balls you would pull the trigger on. In the NFL, you probably didn't pull the trigger on at college, and you got to be able to fit it in those windows. But, I think a lot of the stuff that I'm better at probably is just perspective, in all honesty. Just trying to have the right perspective on things, and that's kind of the thing that I've tried to work the most on over these last couple of years.
John Beck with us on BYU Sports Nation. Clearly, John, you are the best guy at the Dougie on your current CFL team, correct?
Well, I don't know about that. I'm probably just the one that everybody who had the least expected would stand up there and do it.
What did Austin do?
Well, we'll find out. He's got to do something when training camp hits.
Okay.
So I'm sure they're going to kind of do the same thing where no matter how long you played in the NFL, you're still a rookie to the CFL. I probably screwed it for him, though, in all honesty, because I don't know if they were going to actually call me up. I actually went and told my coach, hey, listen, I want to do this, and I don't want anybody to know, and I let my coach in on it. So he was in on it. But I think because of last year, now they're going to make Austin do something.
That was a well-played move on your part, a calculated one at that, to do that. So, yeah, good luck to Austin Collie. We've been talking a ton about the senior factor for BYU football specifically, and looking back at the last 14 years, Brandon Doman in 01, you in 06, Max Hall in 2009, and now we're looking ahead to Taysom Hill in 2015. What is it about senior quarterbacks that create such special things at BYU?
I think it's probably just experience. I think you've gone through ups, you've gone through downs. You hope that when your senior year rolls around, you've been able to have some time in an offense. You're not having a change going into your senior season, but, you're able to use the experience that you've had in games, the experience of kind of handling all of the emotions that go along with playing the quarterback position. And you just kind of want it all to come together for that last season. Your eyes have seen a lot, right? A lot of the times when you put in a new offense, I remember my junior year, it's a new offense, and, you're practicing versus certain looks because that's what they're expecting, and all of a sudden you get into games, and, you don't always get the looks that you have experience against. So a lot of times it's gaining that experience against looks that you couldn't anticipate. Well, all of that gets stored away, and then when you go into your senior season, you now have a wealth of knowledge, of experience, of seeing it versus the looks you can anticipate and even the ones you didn't anticipate. And you bring all that to the table going into your senior year, and that's why I think there's just a certain calm confidence when it comes to being a senior quarterback. You've seen it, you've done it, you've been around it, and you just go in calm and confident.
Do you have a relationship with Taysom Hill, John?
Yeah, when I'm around, I always try to get in touch with him. I try to kind of do my part as a former BYU quarterback of reaching out to the guy that's the starter there. I had guys that, were BYU quarterbacks ahead of me that did that for me, and I felt like a huge thing for me just to talk to them. And I try to do that for Taysom, and I've had a really special opportunity the last couple of years to be around a top-tier coach, and I've been able to learn a lot of things and be around a lot of the NFL's best quarterbacks. And I try to take also the things that I've learned from them that I kind of say, man, I wish I would have known that when I was playing. and give that type of information to Taysom, because so much of it is about the right information. And if you can get that sooner, however you get it, the better it can be. And so I just, I know what it's like to be in those shoes, right? And I really want to see Taysom have a special year just because of how special of a player I believe he is. I just want to see some things come together, and if I can ever help or share any information, I want to do that for him.
Who reached out to you that maybe surprised you when you were a quarterback?
Well, I would say, I had Robbie Bosco as a coach my first year, and so that was a former quarterback that used to talk to me. But, two guys in particular, when I was playing, Gifford Nielsen and Steve Young. I actually bumped into Giff. He was there watching his son have a baseball game, and we got to talk, and then Giff would call me during the season, and it was great to have him offer his, insight to me. And then Steve Young, when I was a young player, kind of back when I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, breaking my hand, getting a concussion, he had some really, really good things to say to me, and it's been awesome because Steve was like that for me throughout my entire NFL career. Some of the great times when things were going awesome and I was being named the starting quarterback, Steve was talking to me, and also during some of the tough times. And it was like that at BYU, and it continued. So, it's a mentor, right? Like, some of the best players, you would all be surprised if you found out what was going on behind the scenes with a mentor in their life. Somebody that was using their experience, their information, helping them, right? It's not just everybody out there on their own trying to figure it out, hoping everything works out. You'd be really surprised how many of the guys that succeed have somebody in their life that's been a mentor to them, that has shared with them critical information that's helped them get their game to the next level.
John Beck, over 11,000 pass yards at BYU, second-round NFL draft pick in 2007, and now a quarterback for the BC Lions in the CFL, joining us live on BYU Sports Nation. Taysom Hill is listed as the number 11 prospect in the NFL.com's 15 for 15 Heisman Trophy candidates. John, where do you think Taysom Hill belongs in that discussion?
Well, I think he's definitely got to be up there. He's an extremely dynamic player. I think, you can argue that he's probably the most dynamic player in the country. And right now in college football, that's what it's about, right? Those quarterbacks that are dual threats and that kind of are the center of their offense, they are going to garner that type of attention, and he's well deserving of it. I think, just hope the guy can stay healthy, right? Everybody wants to see Taysom play out an entire year healthy with the experience that he has. I know he played an entire sophomore season healthy, but that was a sophomore year, right? And I know what it's like to be off a mission, trying to still work out that rust and get back to playing and seeing a defense and trying to bring your game up every week. So, I think as all Cougar fans, we just want to see this special athlete play an entire season. And I think if he's able to play an entire year, and if the team can stay healthy, right? It's a team sport. Injuries can hurt a team. If the guys around him in critical positions can stay healthy, and he can kind of lean on those guys that he's been with for a couple of years, I think things are set up to have a special year. And whatever attention and honors he gets, he's going to be well deserving of it because he is such a dynamic, fun player to watch. I think probably the thing I love most about Taysom is you just never know when it's going to go for a touchdown, right? Like, you're watching the game, and all of a sudden you see him just take off, and you're like, golly, this could be an 80-yarder, right? And that's why college football loves the way Taysom plays. And I know that he's worked extremely hard on his passing game, and I know that he had a really good spring. I was able to talk to Mitch Matthews probably like a week ago. They came out here for this SoCal Fan Fest. I talked to Mitch, and he's super excited, so I think there's a lot of fun things on the horizon if the pieces that need to come into place to have a special year can happen, right? It's not all in one player. There's a lot of things that got to fall into place, but if it happens, I think Taysom's definitely got to be up there for the top.
I think the offense is certainly talented, and the 2015 schedule, John, is really exciting. What do you think of BYU scheduling up, and how do you think they'll meet that challenge?
Well, I think it's awesome. I can remember when I was a sophomore, our 2014, we got to play a few top-ranked teams, and those games are exciting. I will always remember the feeling inside the locker room before the USC game because USC came to town ranked number 1. And, the whole off season, that's that game that you're like, golly, this is what you play college football for, right? Like, you want to be in that environment. And in all honesty, if I wasn't playing Canadian football this year, I would be wanting to go and take my boys to the Michigan game, to the Nebraska game. I mean, those are the venues that's what college football is about, right? And as a BYU fan, Those are the games that get you excited for your team because it's that this will be awesome if we can go into their place and knock them off, right? So I think it's great that BYU schedule those guys. I think it's great that those guys want to schedule BYU because I think with the way the schedule is independent, right, you're going to get a handful of games that probably BYU fans aren't that excited for. So you got to get another handful of games that really get them excited.
Okay, John, one-word answer. True or false, if Taysom Hill is healthy the whole season, BYU wins 10 games or more?
True.
Yes. Okay, you're with me. I feel like we're lone men on the island. But
really?
Yeah.
Who the heck's saying they won't?
Listen, John, I think it's going to be tough. I think 8 or 9 wins would be really good in this schedule.
It's you? You said false?
I'm not saying. Well, if I have to say, yeah, crickets, nice. I think 8 or 9. To me, like 8.5 is the that would be really good in the schedule.
Okay,
and
so
they're on the road. They're tough.
Listen, here's what I'm thinking. Right, senior quarterbacks, when guys stay healthy around them, they have that something special is going to happen. Okay, this is just me, right? Maybe it's my ultra optimistic personality, always believing something special is right around the corner.
I love that, by the way, John.
I will say sometimes that's been the double edge to my sword, right? Like, I also know that's probably a weakness for me at times. But I just think, you know what? Taysom Hill snaps his leg, right? Dude's having an amazing year, gets a bad injury and can't play. This is my thinking. If I was Taysom, I'm thinking something extremely special is right around the corner. And to have a player like that, hopefully have that mindset and the troops around him believe the same thing, I mean, I'm thinking something special can definitely happen. Now, there's going to be some tight games. And listen, like, there's going to be a game that's going to come down to a field goal, right? You can't have something clink off the upright and you lose the game, right? To have a special season, sometimes the ball's got to bounce your way. But if we can get the bounces, I just think, golly, something special is going to happen. And why not this year?
Love it. John Beck with us on BYU Sports Nation.
That optimism is fantastic. That's a great way to live your life. I'm just trying to look at it from another angle, too. We can't both look at it positively all the time.
See, that's the problem with the media. You guys always got to have, like, well, I got to look at it as a realist.
Hey,
listen.
Don't include me there, John. I'm with you, man. Jerem can be there.
I'm not saying I'm trying to be negative. I'm just trying to look at it down the middle. That's it.
No, you know what? Hey, there's truth to be told for that. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life is, you know what? You want to dream big, but you can't have expectations too high because sometimes that can be poison, right? Sometimes that can, if things don't line up to meet that expectation, all of a sudden you have two things pulling at you really, really hard from both sides, right? And you expected something, but the pieces around aren't lined up to make that reality, right? And that can sometimes hurt you. That's why I'm saying it's more than just Taysom, right? Like, the O-line's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Jamal's got to stay healthy. The defense, I don't care how good of an offense you have. If the defense is giving up 30 points a game, kiss it. Like, you ain't getting a 10-win season. I mean, that's just like an offense needs a defense. A defense needs an offense. And every once in a while in games, you need your kicker or somebody on special teams to make a big play or make a clutch 50-yard field goal, right? Like, that stuff, if you want to have a season like that, those things have to happen. And the defense is out of Taysom's hands. The kicking game, that's out of Taysom's hands. The offense is out of the defense hands, right? Everybody's got to rely on each other. And pieces have to line up. If you start having guys on the O-line injured or key wideouts injured, you know, it's tough, right? And that's when the expectation, if all those guys get injured and you have super high expectations, I've felt it before, right? That's hard. So we just, hey, there is a part of realism, but going into it, hey, be super optimistic, but temper expectations.
John, great to have you, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. See you guys.